Yeah, you're lucky, you everybody on the screen, that I didn't make us all sing like they do at Applebee's and stuff. Happy, 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 happy. I hate that. Anyway, Michaela, happy birthday to you, and great answers, you two. Happy that you have money and food. And let me just ask you, is your mom like the greatest teacher of all?
No. Sort of.
Okay, I know. I already knew that answer. So you guys, you miss your regular teachers?
Yes.
You do? Okay. Jordan,
Yeah.
what is the thing that you're most grateful for in this trying time known as COVID-19?
I'm grateful for family because, like, sometimes, they get this virus and you can't go to see them or anything, so you can't really spend time with them. So it's kind of hard.
Kind of hard. Yeah, I know it is. Great answer, my man. Great answer. Ladies, I can't, you know what, your name, Eilina? Why do I?
Alina.
Thank you. You just, when I go like this, I'm trying to say your name, so just say it and I'll mouth it. I'll lip sync your name. Ready on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Alina.
Yeah, I said it. So what are you most grateful for as having learned to have a new appreciation from this experience?
I'm grateful to be able to have a home and have a roof over my head and be able to have food and family with me.
Okay. Great answer. Last but not least, Renaya.
I'm grateful to have like my family and my home and just everybody to like support everybody.
Yes. So
that's really what I'm grateful for.
Awesome. Now, I did hear from most of your family members, your parents and stuff, that there's something that you guys want more than anything else in the world right now today, and we're going to try to make that a reality. And there it is up on the screen. I've heard that you guys are all bored and you want your teachers to send more homework. No?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
No.
I swear I heard it. I promise I did. So, okay, well, I don't know who's spreading rumors, but you guys, that's what I heard. Listen, I'm just joking with you guys. I want to let you guys know as we close out here just how proud I am, and I'm sure everyone watching all around the world is of you. Please, for our viewers out there, can you do us a favor? And I'm going to give you some instructions right now to let's show our guests some love. Let's get some hearts up on the screen for these kids. You're very courageous. You're very strong. But I'm going to tell you what you really mean to me and most of the people that have a little bit of brains in their heads is that you give me a sense of encouragement. You give me something to look forward to. I promise you, I get up and when I need something to put a smile on my face, I go and I find the nearest kid. That's because you guys are the future and you're this world's greatest resource. Don't you ever forget it. And thank you so much for getting up early this morning and starting your day by sharing your truths about this thing with the rest of the world. You're great ambassadors and I'm proud to know you. Okay. All right. So, okay. So get, who's got to go to school right now? Only Jordan. His mom is cracking the whip. You guys are getting a lot of love on the screen. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. God bless you. And stay safe, okay?
Okay.
All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Wow. Ooh-wee. Okay, I'm looking because I'm peeking into the green room and I see that our second group are here. Wow. Okay. Woo. This I'm so excited. You know, I usually something goes wrong. Let me shut up before I jinx everything. I'm gonna get everybody in here. We're gonna bring in, in case you guys have just joined in, start a watch party, spread it out, share the love, call people, share this show out. Everything you can do to get people here. Do like Olita Adams said way back in the day. I don't care how you get here. Just get here if you can. Maybe I should do a concert in the middle of, oh no, because there's a real singer. Well, I kind of a real singer. I do have an album. But anyway, Callie's here. She's a real singer. We've got, let me tell you who's coming up. I'm going to just bring them in here. Here, get ready, you guys. You're going live right now. There's some. Here they come. There's more. There's another one. And there's another one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who's missing? I get. Oh, what? Okay, so maybe I need some homeschooling. You're all here. Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Everybody looks great. Now, these are the older kids. We're getting the older East Coast or Midwest. Everybody that's on the Eastern Standard Time Zone, welcome to the show. I'm going to ask you to go around. We're going to start at the top with the two sisters, Emma and Isabel. Tell everybody who you are, where you live, and what grade you are, and how old you are.
I'm Emma Ripsinski. I live in Michigan and I'm in 11th.
I'm Isabel. I live in Michigan and I'm in 9th grade.
9th grade. Okay, so that's currently, because I know a lot of kids are already saying next year's grade because they know they're not going back to school. So are you in 11th grade actually coming up next year, Emma, or?
No, I'm in it right now and I'm going to senior year next year.
Oh, well, okay. So, and you were using real time as well, Isabel, 9th grade currently?
Mhm.
Okay, huh?
Yes.
Oh, you're very talkative. I can see I'm gonna have to shut you down because you talk too much. I'm just kidding. Okay, we have two guys next door, Aiden and Matthew. How are you, gentlemen?
Good. Good.
Same question. Where are you at? Who are you? How old are you? And what grade are you in currently?
I'm Matthew. I'm from Michigan, and I'm in 11th grade.
Okay. And how old are you?
17.
17. And the young man next to you?
I'm Aiden. I'm also from Michigan, also in 11th grade, and I'm 17 as well.
All right. Now, Miss Callie has already put her age on the screen. Callie, how are you today? Where you at?
Great. I am from Massachusetts. I'm a junior at Salem State University.
A junior at Salem State. And Zion?
Yeah, I'm Zion. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I'm 19. I'm a junior, and I go to University of Toledo.
Okay. And you're how old?
19.
And you're a junior.
Yes, sir.
Like I asked you yesterday, I asked you when you graduated high school. When were you? What were you, 12?
17.
It's a good thing I have previously worked with one of the world's foremost life coaches, and my self-esteem is in place, or I'd be feeling pretty intimidated by you right now, but I'm proud of you. Congratulations. Thanks for showing
Thank
up. Oh Lord. Alyssa or Alyssa?
Alyssa.
Okay,
Alyssa.
easy. Alyssa, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And where are you at?
I'm from Michigan and I'm also 17 and then I'm a senior right now.
So wait a minute. So you're supposed to graduate in a few weeks?
I am supposed to graduate on May 28th or something like that.
Do you think it's going to happen?
I'm hoping it's going to happen because it's graduation, but I'm not thinking, I'm kind of concerned about that.
So let me ask you, and all of you, and Callie, you're in college, and Zion, you're in college, and the rest of you are in high school. But I'm gonna start with you, Alyssa, because you're ooh.
Yeah.
So that means prom, senior class trip,
Yeah.
stuff like spring musicals.
Yeah.
Spring
Actually, we have a winter musical, so we already had ours.
You had your musical. Good for
Yeah,
you.
we
Got
had
that out of the way. But then, do you have your cap and gown and stuff already?
So we get cap and gowns in the middle of May, but we've got a lot of other stuff in for graduation, like all of our apparel we've already gotten. And then I run track, so my track season was canceled.
Wow. Now, were you going into college? I mean, I know I've heard that there's kids who haven't even had a chance to go visit the colleges and stuff like that, or they didn't get their stuff in yet, or there's a sport they play, and that had a lot to do with where they were going to go, but now their sport isn't happening.
So I run track, and I'm going to run track in college, and thankfully, because I've been recruited, I had gone to this college a few times, so I already had picked my school. I picked it on the last day we had school, thankfully, so I have that all set up. Yeah.
About the nick of time.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we're going to come back to you because I feel like you have a lot to say about the potential of not walking across that stage. That sucks.
It really does.
I mean, I don't think I could go to sleep every night without not thinking about, oh, please, 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 because it's such a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of my life leading up to this moment, for it to be taken away from me is kind of rough.
That is rough. And that's why we're here today. For those of you who are out there and have just joined us, it's obvious where you're at. You're sitting right inside the living room of today's episode of Bathrobe Moments. And I am your host, Loren Michaels Harris, but the stars today are on the screen sitting next to me. These are 19. These are part of 19. I can count. They're 19 in total. You missed the first group if you just showed up, but there's plenty more coming from all over the United States. These are kids who have something to say about how their lives have been affected during this coronavirus and this pandemic that we're all under the umbrella with right now, or as you a better metaphor, inside the snow globe. So that's the bell when something good is said. We're gonna and let's keep lots of hearts going, you guys. This isn't easy. I don't see any of you all doing it. So kids, listen, let me ask you a question as a group, and then we're gonna go around and let you answer it. I'd like to ask you this. In your opinion, what is the most suckiest thing about this quarantine for each of you so far? A lot of people are going to think it's your social life being ripped away from you, but I know for a fact there's one of you out here who has a brand new significant other that you got together. Why are you grinning, Matt? I didn't say your name. Got a new girlfriend, and then basically haven't even been able to see her because of this thing. That sucks. And I want to know, has anybody broke up with somebody since? Because that's a thing too. Breaking up on Zoom. I read about it. But anyway, we don't have to get into look at him like I'm not going to admit it. I want to know what's the thing that you if you could blink your eyes and remove it, what would it be? We're going to start with Zion. Zion, what's the thing that you cannot stand about what's happening?
So I work in a daycare, and I really miss the kids that I work with.
Oh, really?
Like going to school and working, like every week I would look forward to going to work to see my little first 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds.
Oh, those little ones bring a lot, don't they?
Yeah, they are. So they are a great bunch.
Zion, is it safe to say that you had no idea they meant so much to you until they were?
100%.
That's the new question. Scratch that old question. The new question is, what is the thing that you now have a newfound sense of gratitude for? That thing that you would have never thought it meant so much to you. So Zion, great answer. The little ones. Let's go up to Emma and Isabel. Same question. What is it that you like? Boy, I didn't realize I really loved that so much.
I didn't realize I like spending time with people as much as I do.
Oh, because that's right. Because you're a self-proclaimed, I don't need anybody, kind of stick off to yourself kind of gal, except for your best friend.
Yes.
So now you've learned that maybe you need interaction with people a little more than you previously thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great self-realization, if I say so myself. So just don't turn into a party animal. Okay, Sister Emma, what about you?
I think it's just like doing like basic things and being able to see the people I always do, because I've seen these people every single day of school, and now I just FaceTime them occasionally. So.
Okay, all right. Aiden and Matthew, same question.
All right. I'm gonna have to say the same as Isabel. I'm just not getting to see the people that I normally would see every day, and that's pretty much what sucks.
Well, and Matthew?
I definitely agree with not being able to see my friends, and I haven't worked in a few months. I'm missing all my coworkers and not at work. And
Oh, that's a good one. How many of you have jobs or had jobs? Okay, so one freeloader in the whole bunch. Nice going, Isabel. Listen, before we go over to Callie, no, go ahead, Callie. Same question.
I would say for me, I'm a performer, I'm a musician. So for me, it's been interesting because I've had to cancel most of my shows, and I love meeting everybody at our shows. There's no greater feeling than looking out into the audience and having people sing your words back to you. So I definitely miss meeting everybody at my shows and all of that. But I think that with everything going on, it's important to be kind and take the time to reach out to those around you and take the time to just be present with yourself. And that's why I've kind of taken time to, refine myself.
Right.
Be present.
Okay, great answer. Thank you. And you're in what year are you in school?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior. Okay. So have you talked to any of your friends that are seniors about graduation? How they feeling?
Yeah, my sound engineer is actually a senior. He's walking in May. So I think it's tough when all the seniors. I'm sorry, I can't say senior name.
Who?
Alyssa. Sorry, Alyssa. I know you're graduating. Yeah.
Yeah.
To all the other seniors out there, I think that I feel for you. I'm sorry you guys are going through this, but congratulations on making it. You guys got through.
Yeah, thank you.
Right.
On to the next chapter.
Yeah.
On to the next chapter. Boy, I'm glad you can do it because I would have been, I'm telling you what, if I was a senior in high school, because pretty much outside of my wedding, yeah, I mean, shoot. I'm thinking that was one of the greatest moments of my life. High school, I mean it. They had to drag me off the stage. I had my little honor cords and stuff, which I didn't realize I was really gonna get them. And yeah, I'm waving at everybody, and yeah. But I'm gonna tell you something too, kids. You know how you're saying, some of you are saying you didn't realize you would miss your friends like you do. That last day when you graduate and everybody sign it. Remember in school when you're signing your yearbooks and all that stuff, and at graduation, you're like, oh, let's get together before summer, or when you come home for Christmas and all that. Know this, Zion, you know what I'm about to say. You think you're going to, but in some cases, I mean, I haven't seen this. I graduated in 1980. So our 40-year, 80, 90, you could do the math. I went to public school. I'm sorry. Sue me. Anyway, in 1980, when I graduated, when it was that day for me, I literally really thought I was going to hook up with all those people again. It didn't happen. So maybe this is one of those things when you do go back and you're back inside your circle of friends and stuff, put things in place to make sure you don't lose each other, because you see how quickly we can lose each other, right? So, Alyssa, I mean, I really feel for you. Yeah. I do. Talk about this for a second. Should you not be able to literally walk across the stage and receive your diploma, what will you do to celebrate your achievement and feel like you weren't shortchanged or cheated? Because there's not going to be a do-over.
Yeah. So my parents and I have kind of joked about having our own little graduation ceremony, because we obviously paid for the caps and gowns, so we still get to they're still going to give us our caps and gowns and all of our cords and all that. So then we'll do our own little ceremony in the backyard, or we'll go on FaceTime with all my friends and do something that way, just so we don't miss out on as much of the moment. But yeah. And then they said that we will have a ceremony. It's just a matter of when it will happen. But I'm in the Army National Guard, so unfortunately I'm going to leave for basic training.
Well, thank you for your service in advance.
Yeah, I'm glad I can. But yeah, so unfortunately there's a chance that I'll be gone. They've already planned a bunch of stuff for the next school year, and I'll be gone for it. So that's kind of challenging, but yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out on the table. Now, you guys, and I know why Amanda is not here, because anybody listening, including Amanda, come in at 9:20 with the next group, because when it said we could have 6 people, I forgot to count myself. I already told you, public school in the dark ages. So next question is, and I want to go around and we'll wrap up the thing by going around one by one. This is the thing I asked the other group, I'm going to ask you too. If I were to use a mute button, if I had a mute button that could shut the mouths of everyone on the planet, and they were forced to listen to you, each of you, how would you spend that time? What would you say to the world? What do you think we need to do to get through this? The little one said, keep your butt at home, stay at home, which a lot of adults are not doing. I want to know what you guys feel. We'll start with you, Callie, and move across the bottom of the screen. Zion, you're next. Alyssa, Aiden, and Matthew, and then we'll wrap it up with Emma and Isabel. Go ahead, Callie.
I think the best thing you can do, follow the little one's example. Stay home, but be kind. Check in with your neighbors. Doesn't mean you got to shake their hand. Check in with somebody you haven't spoken to in a while. Show them your friendly smile. I guarantee it'll make their day. It'll make your day better, and it'll just make the world kind of grow faster. It won't go back to normal, but it might grow into a more bolder, funner, confident, happy place.
Yes, be kind. Writing that down. Great answer. Zion, what say you?
I would say this is a once in a lifetime event. So you're never going to have this much free time again. So use it to be productive and like Callie said, reach out to someone you haven't spoken to, that a connection that you wish you would have rekindled, or like really spend this time to like work, because you're not going to have a time like this when you have as much freedom as we do now, even though we're constrained to our houses.
Right.
So,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Zion.
So I would say, yes, follow all the rules and orders that are put in place by our elected officials. But just because we can't go outside doesn't mean you can't live your life.
Amen to that. There you go. There you go. From the mouths of babes. Okay, Alyssa.
So I would say we're all missing out. So just like don't kind of freak out and understand that everyone's missing something. And then kind of utilize what you do have, though. Like, talk to everyone that you haven't talked to, like Callie said. Like, we have so much technology, so just utilize it.
Utilize it for more than games and this and the other. Get in there and build a bridge between you and the things that mean the most.
Exactly.
Amen. Hallelujah. Okay. Aiden and Matthew.
I would say definitely, stay home, stay safe. If you do go out, follow all the precautions needed. Don't let this whole pandemic get your hopes down.
Okay. Awesome. Stay home. Keep it locked down. Aiden, how about you?
Follow the guidelines. Don't go out like often, and if you ever do need to go out, take the precaution, mask, gloves, anything that keeps you safe. But mostly just try to have as much fun as you can in your house.
Aiden, you been working out?
No.
Kind of looks like you have been. And by the way, I just want to say, Aiden and Emma, you both happen to be single. I saw how y'all were looking across the screen at each other. I'm just saying. I didn't miss that. A little blushing going on the screen. Look at Aiden here. I ain't got no problem with it. Yeah. So, thank you guys for your answers. I'll let you gather yourself, Emma. Isabel, what about you?
I guess it's just stay home. When you're staying home, you're saving people's lives. So just stay home. Stop being.
Stay home. Yeah, that seems to be the consensus. And Emma.
Everybody knows it sucks and everybody wants to leave their house, but the more you keep going out, ignoring the quarantine order, the longer it's just going to be.
That's right. That's right. If we want it to end, we have to do the hard thing and stay at home until they can do. Let me ask. I asked the other kids, and I was shocked that little Jordan, he's lost 3 family members to COVID-19, and his grandmother had it, but she recovered. So 4 people that he knew, 3 passed away, 1 made it through. By a show of hands, how many of you know someone who has tested positive or know some family who has lost someone to this virus? Show of hands. All of you. Wow. Now, a few weeks ago, I know, and I could do that too. I should have raised mine. But isn't it crazy how a few weeks ago, I wouldn't have been able to raise my hand, right? And now how every day it just keeps compounding. This is why it was so important for you all to come on. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being a great example of what a true youth ambassador is. Like I was saying to the other kids, the big people in the White House and the governors and all these other people, yeah, they got the hoses filling up the pool, but you guys are the ones who are going to have to swim in that pool. And today you spoke even for a few minutes to the world and let them know what temperature you want that water to be. It is your world, it's your future. We're just happen to be visiting it. That's how I feel about it. So I just want to thank you guys for being the great examples you are. Share this out. Let's get it out and let other kids know that it's going to be okay. And because you said so. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. God bless you all and stay safe.
Bye.
You too.
Bye, everybody. Okay. So that was our second group. I hope Amanda heard me and will come inside of this next group. In case you joined, welcome to the show. My name is Loren Michaels Harris. I'm your host of Bathrobe Moments, this 90-minute special, which is entitled Forgotten Voices, the Youth of the Coronavirus. We just finished the East Coast, and now we're moving into, as I flip my show schedule, I am moving into the Central Standard Time Zone, where we have kids coming in. Oh, good. Amanda's here from the other one. Good. I'm glad you. Good. Amanda's from the East Coast, but I had too many people in there, so I'm waiting now. Let's see. It's 8:21. We're a few minutes early, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys just talk to you for a second about how we're doing this. Please, if you've been listening, you see that we're hearing great stuff from these kids. They have a lot of insight. It's important, even if, it's just important that they were respected enough, I believe, that we thought it was important enough to ask them, is there anything you have to say? I know when I was a kid, it was like everybody talked around me, looked around me, dealt around me, and no one really ever asked me. I had one caseworker, a social worker, when I was in the foster system. Some of you know my story, 22 different mothers. And it was Anne, who always saw me, who always took me off and sat me down and looked across from me, eye to eye, knee to knee, and heart to heart, and would ask me, is there anything on your mind? And I can't even begin to tell you how important that was for me, not only when I was a kid, but as I grew out and I wanted to find that inner kid and keep him with me. Because every one of us, the example of who we were at every age, those are the shoulders we stand on today. And kids need to understand that they are, everything that they have to say is important, and that we feel that, and we're going to take the time and we're going to listen. I see my next group is in, so I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to get them in here. Thank you. I'm so glad Amanda's here. And look at Zion. He just don't want to leave. Let me see. I want to make sure I get him. Okay. It says kick from studio. I'm kicking. Okay. Bam. Zion just got the boot. Okay. Here they come. This is the Central Standard Time Zone, you guys, which means they're somewhere in the same time zone as me. I told you, public school, y'all. I can't help it. Amanda's here. Alex is here. Taylor is here. Caden and I want to say Jorha, because I think that your second J is an H. That's from one semester that I dropped out of in the middle of the semester of Spanish in 8th grade. But I do remember that the J's are H's. So you're going to have to correct me. Welcome, everybody. How are you?
Hello.
Good. Welcome, Central Time Zone. And I apologize, Amanda, you're really the East. But like I said, when it said you could have 6 people, I said, oh, good, there's 6 of them. I forgot to count myself.
It's okay.
So, senior moment. But thank you for hanging around. And you're in your peer group here. So what we're going to do is, everybody looks great, too. Okay. We have a brother-sister duo, but we see they got their own worlds. Caden's in his room, and I see his. Say your name for me.
Georgia.
Oh, I've heard your mom say your name a million times, but I picked GE like the town. I mean,
it's like the state. It's just everybody thinks it looks different. So, but it's the same.
Public school, Georgia is a state, not a town. Don't follow anything I have to say. So we're gonna go around the group and let you introduce yourselves. This is a smaller group, so and I'm glad it's that way. I purposely kept it lower as far as participants, because you guys are a little older. You're having some real life experiences. And I wanted you all to have a chance to let the world know what you're feeling. So Amanda, you're 22. You're graduating from college.
Yes.
To talk about that, where are you from, and what college is this, and what was your major? What is your major?
I'm from Philly, PA. I'm going to Rosemont College. My major is English.
Okay.
Supposed to be graduating.
Yes, we're going to talk about that today. Okay, 22 years old. Alex, and he put his whole name, and probably, I think this is the brand. Alexander, how are you? Tell everybody what you do, where you're at, and how old you are.
For sure. I'm doing all right. I'm 21. I am studying at School of the Art Institute. My major is graphic design and printmaking, but, I dabble in a whole bunch of other stuff like sculpture and photography. And I was meant to be in Paris doing my study abroad, but, that got cut short, unfortunately.
Because of this?
Yeah.
We're going to come back to that one. Well, thank you for being here. And then, yes, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, yeah. Go.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to go down to Taylor.
How you doing?
Going 19. Woo. Taylor, is that hair on purpose?
Yeah,
I
it
like
is. I'm trying to break a record.
Yeah. So Taylor, you also are a college student, and you're quarantining in where your school is at, right?
Yeah, so I'm
You
from
didn't make
St.
it home.
Petersburg, Florida. Yeah, I'm actually not allowed to come home because my mom is immune compromised, so I'm stuck here on campus. I go to UWF. I study business administration and a minor in entrepreneurship. And yeah,
In the University of West Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, and your mom and your family are where in Florida?
They are in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay, and are you still actually on campus?
Yeah, so I actually got permission to stay. They actually kicked everybody else out, but I just told them that I didn't have anywhere else to go, and they let me stay until May 2nd, and then I got to figure it out from there.
Ooh, that's like those Freddy Krueger movies where only a couple dummies go to the camp. You know what I mean? The camp's been closed for 20 years. Let's go up and reopen the camp this weekend. I'm saying because no one's walking around campus. So
yeah,
you
it's
have the entire campus
empty.
to yourself?
Completely empty.
Pretty empty.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Caden, where are you? How old are you? And welcome.
Hi, I'm Caden Sanilla. I'm 16. I'm a sophomore for Naperville North High School in Naperville, Illinois. And I'm in photography, and I do football and track and field.
Okay, so sports. We're going to talk about that. In Georgia?
Mm-hmm. My name's Georgia. I'm 13. I'm just in public school, 8th grade, and I just like to bake, I guess.
You like to bake. I'm glad I know that now. I'll put it in order right after this show. So I just we're going to go around now. Who has something that they just want to get off their chest about this virus and how it's affected their life? So I don't have to ask you a question. You just can roll with it. Anybody?
But we can get to that later. We can start with something.
Okay, because we have some time here. We have until 8:45. So let's get to it. Let's start with Amanda. Amanda, just take a couple minutes and tell everybody what it feels like. Did you ever think that your graduation day would not come? I mean, well, you know, I don't mean that math test that you were worried about, but you know what I'm saying, that all of this stuff would happen. What's it feel like to you? Do you feel cheated potentially? Because you still could walk. We don't know.
If it were different circumstances, I might feel cheated, but like I understand why this is happening. Like I relate to Taylor a little bit. My dad is a lung transplant patient, so I would not have the option of going out regardless of this. Like even during flu season, I had to like warn my professors and my bosses, like, listen, if I have to take a few days, it's because I need to be home resting. I can't really be around my dad until I'm better. So like I get why this is happening.
Okay, so you were already versed in this before it happened somewhat.
Yeah.
So what's the one thing that you feel you miss the most?
Seeing my friends. This is my senior, like my last semester, and I commute to school, so I get the opportunity to go and see my friends at other schools because I don't have to worry about like long drives or anything. And I don't know when I'll see those people again, if I'll get to see them again, you know, like anytime soon. So it really sucks.
That's true, because if you guys were to forego the actual ceremony, kids are going to go off into life and you may never. I get it. Okay, Alexander, same question. What's the thing that you regret the most so far?
Well, I wish I could be in Paris right now, you know, enjoying myself and, you know, working on my projects. I miss being in the studio. That's like where I spend most of my time. That's where I thrive. And that's been the most difficult thing for me, is trying to find a way to continue working, continue being productive, and, you know, fulfilling what's expected of me from school and making sure I get those credits. There's like so much up in the air and so much uncertainty that it's really difficult. A lot of my plans got thrown out the window and I just have to adapt to it now.
Right. And it's not like the sort of thing where you say, okay, well, I'm going to have a contingency plan just in case, those normal things we do, because who could have seen this coming? No one.
Right.
So, okay. So a little bit of frustration in there.
Yeah, definitely.
I get it.
And majority of what I pay for at school is access to resources and equipment and studios. You know, we pay upwards of $40,000 a year for that kind of stuff. And, you know, you have administration that gets paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in salary, and we're not getting any kind of refund or assurance that we're going to get refunds or anything. And it's not just me that's being affected by this, but students all over the country who are trying to get money back and they're not getting what they expected to, when they paid for it, and it's just really unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. And, you know, I was talking to somebody last week about this, and I was like, well, what about student loans and stuff like that, and the things that you're speaking about? Have you heard anything about any kind of bailout thing for people like you all, you students?
No, and I don't have a lot of hopes given the administration that we're dealing with here. I mean, they're useless. This administration is pretty much useless. I'm not expecting them to roll out with any kind of bailout for students or try and help us, because I mean, I know what they care about, and it's profit margins. So
wow, okay,
yeah.
and I got to ring the bell on that. Taylor, I saw you shaking your head in agreement. What say you?
I mean, I agree. You know, we all paid for everything that college comes with, and the biggest struggle for me really is that I am really terrible at online classes, and I went from having like straight A's to having borderline, you know, C's, and I'm taking some really hard classes. So me learning face to face with my professors, that really helps me out. And, you know, because we pay tuition, I feel like we should have the full experience, but, you know, because of the virus, we can't. And so I think that's like the biggest thing for me is I'm like, you know, borderline of failing like one of my hardest classes, you know, just because it's online.
Wow, I would have never thought about that. The face-to-face versus the e-learning kind of thing. Wow. Okay, thank you for that. Caden?
For me personally, I would have to agree with Amanda and just seeing people just in general, such as like friends. I mean, for all of you being in college and having to deal with student loan debt and stuff like that, I feel pretty bad for you all. But for me, I just had struggles personally, and I know my friends have always wanted to connect and so forth, and this e-learning / remote learning type of Zoom call is just a little strange to us all at this point right now.
And thank you ringing the bell on that. Georgia?
For me, really, what I miss about like school is, of course, my friends. But the thing is, the week as we left, the week after, we were supposed to do the school musical. So our school musical was canceled, and I was in that, which is very sad. All of my friends didn't like that. And just being on e-learning, it's like it's not the same face to face because like everybody is confused. The teachers don't know what's happening. Everybody's just like, I don't know, and you're trying to get just answers to questions that they can't, like, you're just lost.
So everybody, I guess it's pretty safe to say we can all agree that it sucks when things are in limbo.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like if you were in a spaceship and there's no gravity, you're just kind of like bouncing and floating all over the place, you know, with no place to land. I get it. And with your age group, I can see another layer of frustration because you're kind of right in the middle. You know what I mean? You're in that you're ready to launch yourself into the things that you want to do for the rest of your lives and all this, but then you know, the little ones, they're at home and they get playtime and stuff. You know, it's like, no big deal. Bedtime stories, this and the other. But it's a very real world to all of you. Now, my next question is, well, first of all, can I see from a show of hands, is anybody here dating? Okay, Amanda. Okay. Taylor, he can't raise his hand because then the 5 girls are going to say, how come he didn't say my name? I already see. He's like, I am not going there. So I want to ask the next question is, what is the strangest behavior you've witnessed since this thing began? It could go anywhere, but it could be something that you were like, is that really who we are? Or, wow, that's kind of nice. For instance, I'll give you 2 examples. The craziness associated with what do you call that? Fear buying or whatever, you know, when people like go getting all the toilet paper, or something really cool like here in Illinois, I think it's around the country, where kids are doing the chalk art, leaving those messages of encouragement out on the sidewalks. Really helped me get over the hump the first couple of weeks. So what is the strangest, or, you know, what kind of behavior have you seen? Either something you couldn't stand or something that you're like, now that's cool. We'll start with you, Georgia.
Well, I've been seeing a lot of the chalk art on like sidewalks when I ride my bike. But other than like everybody going a little crazy in the head because they're inside all day and not seeing friends, I would just say I like seeing everybody outside, because usually it's just a lot of cars and nobody's outside experience like being with family or anything. So it's
Right.
really cool to see everybody just like outside riding bikes with their family, or just, you know, not being inside all day on electronics.
Okay, great answer. Amanda, let's pop up to you.
I feel like the weirdest thing is when we were all let out from like school and work to stay home, people took it as an opportunity to go out more. And I saw people who I don't ever see go out start going out. I'm like, what's the matter? Like, that was not the point of this at all.
Oh, so the people that were not social distancing and just started, yeah. We had a big deal here in Chicago about that, but our mayor wasn't having it. She shut it down. So, okay, Alex.
Well, I read this article a few days ago by this French sculptor Christian Boltanski, and he's describing life in Paris these days. And all over France, it's way different than it is here, where any moment where you want to go outside, you have to sign a piece of paper declaring what you can do. And you have 5 options. You can go for work, go for medical emergencies, you can go to the grocery store, you can go for sport by yourself, and some other one. And he's describing like jogging shoes and leggings and your dog as like these passports that allow you to go outside, and how people in the street now feel this kind of tension in between each other, where people go out of their way to cross the street and avoid, you know, crossing paths in order to keep themselves safe. And even like looking each other in the eye, it feels like, as you know, our eyes are now a vehicle to transmit the disease as well, and not just our mouths.
That's a great point. I experienced that personally back at the beginning, where it was like there was like no social protocol. You know, I didn't care, because, you know, I was the last one to put on the I wear it now though, my little bandana and stuff. But even that, you know, when I grew into what was necessary, but now I see people are starting. We noticed a couple weekends ago when we did our walk, people were going out of their way now because they've kind of relaxed into it, and we're saying, "Hey, how are you?" But at first, you're right, Alex. Absolutely, eyes were averting. People, Brian, my husband, we were walking one day. He was walking. Some days we go together, some days separately. And we always compare stories if we go separately. And he said the lady saw him coming and just turned around and took off like she was in the 50-yard dash, like she was on fire or something, ran the opposite direction. And I'm like, well, you know. And then also too, you know, how do you think I felt and I posted it on my social media when I went into the bank with a red bandana, some sunglasses on, this hat? Do you think I, in my entire life, would have ever thought I could do that as a black man, as any man, and live to tell about it? The times, they are a-changing. So, Taylor.
So the strangest thing I think that I've noticed about the quarantine and stuff is just how people act and how people treat you. Like I've been to the grocery store, and I actually do Postmates driving. And that's how I'm making my money since I lost my job. And people are like really weird, you know, like they're not as friendly. And like I get it, but people, like you said, they just act weird. And it's just like a less friendly environment, you know, when you go to the grocery store, because everybody is kind of like on their toes and freaking out. And you know, when you leave, it's like not enjoyable to be out, you know, in the world anymore, because everybody's always freaked out.
That's a great point. It's a different experience when you do go out. So it's kind of like, you know, even though, you know, I go out when I have to, but you're right. It's you know, because I'm the person, the grocery store, that's an essential. But before, the grocery store was like the nightclub for me. I knew everybody. I'm not kidding. Seriously. No one goes to the grocery store with me because I'm in there for a couple hours. I'm all back in the meat department. I know all of them, and we're sitting down. Right. And so the guy in the wine thing is taking me back in the storeroom. Look at what we got in. I know, pretty sad. That's my social life. I didn't realize that until just now. Oh crap. But anyway, good thing I'm married to a therapist. So I get it. And Taylor, being one of those drivers and stuff. So what's the rudest thing someone has done? I scared him off. He'll come back. Well, you know, I mean, he's a Postmates driver. Can you imagine? Just leave it out on the curb. You know what I'm saying? Right. So let me ask you guys this as we go through the last round here. And Alexander, I'm going to invite you to stay in the next group, if you would, because of the dual country thing. I want to talk more about that. But you, Georgia and Caden, if you had some advice that you would want the world to hear, like I was telling the other groups, if I had a button and I could mute everybody so that they couldn't talk for just a couple seconds, and they were forced to listen to you, what would you tell them? What advice would you give people so we can get through this thing and get on with the course of living? Caden, you go first.
I would truly put it towards, I understand we have our certain freedoms and rights that we want to go out and do certain things. And at this point, we have our free time that we like it because there's no school, work's all at home now. But I would truly just stay inside and keep social distancing and make sure you're wearing masks and protective clothing when going out into public areas.
Okay, awesome. Georgia, same question.
I would just say, like, keep yourself clean, like washing your hands and everything, and like not trying to touch your face. But also, you just staying home all day. You just don't want to smell bad, Caden. Sorry. Because like, it's like you're still human, so you don't want to be like ruining everything, like smelling horrible. You're living in trash. So.
Where did he go again? He keeps popping off. It's probably because they've shut down. I'm talking about Taylor. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you for that. Taylor keeps popping off. It's probably because they have minimal what do you call it? 5G or whatever in his door, because no one's supposed to be there. I think that's what's going on. So in conclusion, we have 3 minutes on this round left. Question. What do you think the most important thing we can all do right now? What's the most important thing we can do right now? Amanda?
Stop being selfish, I guess. I feel like people are super focused on like having their freedoms and, you know, like living life as they would normally because they don't feel that this pandemic, keyword pandemic, is a problem. But I mean, it is. There's other people to think about. You may not care about it, but there's a lot of other people who do. And who are you to infringe upon what they care about just because you want to go out?
Amanda, do you think that they're all going to open up communities too soon, or should we wait?
I think we should wait. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a reason to open up right now. I mean, numbers aren't realistically showing that anything is slowing. I mean, yeah, it's slowing down very minimally, but I mean, there was a burst of people in the country who just went back to beaches. So, I mean,
right.
Numbers pretty soon.
Right. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Alexander, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. Take care of yourself and take care of your family. There's only so much that we can do, and there's a lot of shit that's going on that's out of our control.
Right.
So then, you know, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in stuff that causes anxiety that's out of your control, and this, you know, there's no reason to beat yourself up over shit like that. I say that also for myself. You know, there's a lot of anxiety that I've been feeling because of everything that's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to realize that there's only so much that you can do.
That's right. Thank you for that. Georgia, outside of Caden taking a shower once or twice a month, what do you think we can do?
Like everybody else is saying, just like stay home. And everybody's dealing with stress. So I would say like try to do meditation. A lot of people are like trying to do like being okay or finding like their third eye or something. So
Great answer. Self-care. First time today we've heard that. Caden, wrap it up for us.
I would agree with my sister. Just health and mental care in general.
And showers.
Hold on.
You're going to pay, Georgia. You're going to pay. I want to thank each and every one of you. And Alex, like I said, if you feel like it, if you have time, like to stay over. There's some other things I want to get out that you can speak to. Listen, all of you. Amanda, congratulations on your graduation. Caden and Georgia, thank you for coming in and repping my home town right here, Naperville. Thank you so much. And thank you for stepping up, all of you. You could have done anything else you wanted to in the world this morning, but you decided to come and share your life, your thoughts, and your hopes and dreams and fears with us. And that means the world to us. Thank you so much, and stay safe.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, everybody. So we are about to bring in our last group, and we're going to have Alexander stay around. I see Carson is here. Carson Peterson, all the way from what part of California are you in, Carson?
Ventura, California, so LA kind of area.
Okay, Ventura. And Carson, everybody, if he looks familiar, or if you smell some aroma of something wonderful wafting in the background, that's because Carson was one of the cast members of season 2 of Top Chef Junior, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm so grateful to have you. And you two, Alex and Carson, get ready because you're about to be upstaged.
Oh.
Little Lennon, our youngest person of the day, just turned 4. Happy birthday, Lennon.
Happy birthday.
Yes. And Lennon is nothing to play with. You know, he's got his own show on Symposium where he's talking to other toddlers about COVID-19 and all these things. So glad you're here. Lennon, is that your birthday stuff behind you? Are those your balloons?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a birthday party that lasted 3 days.
I got something to show you.
Show it to me.
All right.
Oh, you
It's early for him. It's 6-something in the morning.
All the Home Alone stuff.
Oh, all your Home Alone stuff. Yes, it's his favorite movie, and they decorated the entire
Paper, Home Alone sign, and the Home Alone sign.
Okay.
Home Alone sign. Oh, wow.
And
I-
Bob the dolphin.
Okay, come back down.
Yes. Thank you for being here, and happy birthday. Happy birthday. A round of applause.
Hold on. Now it's my turn to talk.
So, you guys, I'm going to start with Lennon real quick. And Lennon, your mommy was telling me that you've been having bad dreams, right? Yeah. And that when your mom goes to grandma's house and to put stuff, to drop off stuff for grandma, it's scary for you, right? Why?
All the germs.
Yeah, the germs.
You're scared of the germs.
Yeah, so he's scared. And mom
As he sneezes all over the computer.
Speaking of germs, I love that you brought your own
germs to the party.
Yeah. So mom, kind of help out here. How far inside this quarantine or pandemic or COVID-19 or just this thing, the bubble we're under, how far inside did Lennon start experiencing the nightmare?
After probably maybe like a week or two into it. I think it's just like a change of everything. I'm a small business owner, so I'm constantly on the go, and now he has me all the time, which is great. But we have, Lennon's a smart kid, so we had a really real talk with him about what's going on. Sorry, he wants to be the center of attention.
That's okay. He's 4. I remember that. And, I'm really grateful to have Lennon here today because, I have on the screen with us today Alexander, who is an art student now back in Chicago, but studying in Paris. And then we have Carson. Carson, an up-and-coming everything, a chef from Chef. What is it again? Top Chef Junior, season 2. And then we have Lennon. And the thing about it is this is great because it shows us the entire, span pretty much of who this affects and who has something to say about it. I would have never thought that a 4-year-old, well, Lennon, you were 3 when we first started talking, that it really is a big part of his life. Alexander, the frustration that you experience with the rug of dreams being pulled out from underneath you. And then you, Carson. So, Carson, you're 13. You're 15.
15, yeah.
15. So you're in what grade?
I'll be a sophomore next year.
how has this affected your life out? I mean, including your social life since this happened. What's the worst thing?
You know, there's like a social stigma that's placed on my generation, especially, and it's a stigma that says we're glued to our screens, and you know that face-to-face sociality isn't something that we're capable of. And the coronavirus has done two things. It's made it more so in people's minds. People believe it more so now. And the second thing, it's almost become more of a reality, because the closest thing to face-to-face talking we get is things like this, these broadcasts. And like, I think especially like right now in high school is a time where people like find who they are. Like for me, I'm finding who I am as a person and who I'm going to be, you know, years in the future. And if being glued to your screens is part of our lives, it's going to stay with us for, you know, those years to come. So I hope after this is all over, we can break away from this kind of cycle and get back to those face-to-face interactions that I think are like part of being human.
That's a great point, because well, you answered the first question, which was, how do you think social interaction is being changed? So do you think it is changing? Do you think that I mean, now everybody's running to Zoom and everybody's having to do the thing that they're like, look at them over there, that family out at dinner, not even talking to each other, which is true. I've seen it too, and it is, and, you know, sometimes I just shake my head. But now that we're all forced to go that route, and Alexander, you can chime in on this too. How do you think that social interaction is being changed because of this pandemic?
I think it's going to be some time, even after this is passed, that people are still going to carry the habits that they've picked up during the virus. People are still going to be scared for a while to spread germs, but I really hope that things can go back to how they used to be. You know?
How they used to be. You don't. So you think there will be a new normal?
For some time, at least, until people forget about it and get comfortable being outside again. But it's going to take time. You know, fear is something that's going to take some time to push aside.
To push aside. That's true. Hey, Lennon, let's unmute Mom. Let's unmute for a second. And so what about Lennon and his play dates coming to a screeching halt? Because he's an only child, correct?
Yes, and he goes to preschool, so it was really hard in the beginning for him to, and he's a very outgoing personality, and so it was really hard for him, asking every day if he can go back to school. He misses his teacher, and when people did come by to drop off, whether it be milk or, you know, a bag of oranges, or drop off a gift for Lennon, it was hard for him to social distance. So
yes, you know, I experienced that at the beginning, and it broke my heart when one of the I was picking up something from a food place where, you know, everybody was sitting in the parking lot, and then when one person would come out, somebody would go in, and then one of my neighbors was next door at the Ace Hardware, and her daughter came running up to me, and I had to go, stop.
Yeah.
You know, because kids, you know, they're just fearless. And that was really the look on her face when that happened.
Yeah, that happened to actually last week when his dad, my husband, came home from work. We have a whole routine. He comes through the back. We leave out some clothes, a towel, and he goes straight to the shower. We disinfect everything he touches because he goes into people's homes all day. So Lennon knows that, but for some reason he just forgot because he's 4, and he ran over to him with his arms open saying, "Daddy," and we both kind of just like, you know, nature just screamed like, "Stop," and it scared him, and and then he went and cried in the corner and said he just wanted to hug his dad. And so it just messed with him for like a good 15-20 minutes until we had to explain to him again why we do what we do.
Wow.
That was sad.
That's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. Wow. So moving to the next question. I'd like to know what all of you are doing to stay mentally and physically healthy. We'll start with you, Carson.
Well, I've got to say, I only have a little sister and my mom and dad in the house, and I'm going a little stir crazy, you know, and I know people have more relatives and more siblings in a household than I do. And I found that what makes me like want to pull my hair out is like repeating the same thing day in and day out. The kind of behaviors: waking up, eating breakfast, watching TV, going on the phone, going on the computer. Maybe you go outside once a day, but it's just repeating it over and over. And so I've been able to find variance in my life with the things I love to do, which cooking. I love to do cooking. On Symposium at Top Chef Carson, I'm hosting chef talks on Sundays where people can come talk to me about, anything culinary or even not culinary if they just want to talk to me about being on the show. And May 10th, I'm going to be having a Mother's Day special. And it's like things like that where I can kind of break away from that cycle that I'm in to, stay sane and, happy.
Great answer. Great answer. I'll be watching that over on Symposium. I'm on there. And so is Lennon. Lennon has something over on Symposium too that he's offering. We'll talk about that. Alexander, what are you doing to keep yourself sane? I know you're an artist, so I assume you dive into creativity, but what else? What's it look like for you?
Now that the weather's been getting better, I've been spending more time outside in the yard sketching. And I've been building up a studio space in the house where I can, spend some time away from the family in my own space and, get back into a kind of rhythm. But it's been really difficult because a lot of my practice revolves around, translating experiences that I have, interactions and stuff like that. So like a main source of my creativity has been cut off from me. So I've been trying to find different source of inspiration from reading to maybe more self-reflection, stuff like that, and trying to make the best of the resources that I have here and trying to work around the limitations that I have.
Right. Awesome. Tommy?
Yes.
How do you well, I already know how you stay physically and mentally together because you got a built-in gym inside of your body. He keeps you moving.
Yeah.
But what about for him? Does he is there just like a big powder keg of energy all the time now?
Yeah. We've been making it fun, and so I think my second calling was being a preschool teacher, but we've been taking some lessons and learning about different things, and we learned Lennon loves music. He's a little musician. So yesterday was, Prince Day. So we learned about Prince all day long, and we danced to Prince albums all day. And so we just kind of, obviously his name is Lennon, so he loves the Beatles. So we try to incorporate music, and we do, we'll YouTube some like little kids hip hop classes, and we cook together. So every day I'm like 2 a.m. on Pinterest trying to find out what we're going to do for tomorrow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Looking forward so that we can stay moving forward. Great stuff. Final question, and then Lennon's gonna sing us out today with his, you see, he went and got his guitar and stuff. He already knew he was performing. He's like, don't forget, So final question, you guys, how can we stay positive during the coronavirus? And then this is the one where I'm going to give you the I mute the world so they can't talk. All they can do is listen, and whatever you say right now, they have to hear. What would that be? Alexander, what's your final thought?
I mean, I'll say again what I said before is just take care of yourself and your family. I think that's the most important thing.
Family.
Keep yourself mentally and physically healthy, and your family is like the most important thing that you got. And stay close with your friends. You gotta just stick together in these times and like ride through it. Stay positive.
Amen. Awesome. And I want to thank you, Alexander, for sticking around and for coming today and sharing your thoughts with everyone. I really appreciate you, man. Carson?
My heart goes out to people like Jordan who have lost loved ones and people that are hurting financially. But I think it's really important to see a positive and look for opportunity in this. And for example, like I found opportunity in the two things that drive me and light a fire in me, and those are rowing and cooking. I've seized these opportunity that the coronavirus has almost given me to work on my passions. I get to work on creating and letting my imagination and my passion work together to create, beautiful things. I'm sure Alexander can relate with me on that, that kind of artistry level. And then on my rowing side, my coach is hosting Zoom meetings every day where we get on our rowing machines. We put those.
Welcome back to F3 Faith Family Focus. I'm Faith. This is my dad, Schaefer, and we have a very special